time for another episode of the Parallels in Media. So, it's like midnight, so let me impart on you some interesting parallels between three different girls who realized the identity of the lead hero. Okay. Big Hero 6. Uh, when, oh god, I forgot her name. The original girl, the other scientist girl, god, I forgot what her name is. Anyway, when she was on Big Hero 6, and then when she left after City of Monsters, you can kind of see that her leaving was abrupt because suddenly it's the insert of Megan, the super sleuth character who's more intended to actually be his girlfriend than the other girl because she was a tsundere and Megan isn't. But she's a spunky reporter and she's going to find out who Big Hero 6 is. So she spends half the season trying to figure that out. And when she finally does figure it out, a bit convolutedly or conveniently for the story, because the story says she has to learn it by this point, she figures it out. And it's like, right, of course, it was him the whole time. It's like, right. And when she confronts Hiro about it, she gets all upset, and again, people do this. Trust me, my brother used to do this too. Where they would act all offended, because the other person's not going along with what they're doing, what they want. So instead of apologizing to me for holding this secret from me, you're giving me orders to not spill the beans about it. It's like she doesn't get a thought through her head. It's explained painfully clear in Venture Brothers why there is such a thing, or in the live-action reboot of The Tick. The 8th Amendment or whatever, the superhero amendment, they said, where if you are caught superheroing, you are legally allowed to retain your identity from the authorities. Because last time someone did that, they were massacred. And as we saw in Venture Brothers, people tend to crash through your dining room window to arch you in the middle of dinner. So yeah. But Megan had to be shown, because she's not that smart, at that particular moment, why Big Hero 6 needs to stay active and out of the limelight, publicly anyway, or personally or whatever, keep their secret identities. So after a portal enemy, Megan's like, right, duh, let's not spill the beans on their secret identity, but say why San Fran Tokyo needs Big Hero 6, of course. Then after that, she kind of just mellows out and everything's fine. Until, what am I blanking on her name for? It's, Tamara? No. I'm sure I'll remember it. Again, it's the middle of the night. Anyway, next up is Invincible. Now we had, oh god, his girlfriend. I forget what her name is. Maggie, I think it was. I forget. Anyway. She decides, she figures it out that Mark is invincible, and then decides to hold it against him because he hasn't come out with it right away. And it's like, again, she gets angry at him for keeping it's a secret identity. It's like the same thing in T-Man, like I said previously. Tila gets all pissed off and has the secondary inciting incident following the first of He-Man's supposed death is, I wasn't involved, and then F you, I'm out, bye. It's a secret identity. But it's like, well, I wasn't trusted. It's like, you can't just tell everybody in the freaking planet who you are. That's not how this shit works. Unless you're in The Boys, then yeah, okay, that makes sense. But having a character act that way is kind of stupid. You can kind of understand it where, yes, uh, emotional immaturity will factor into that, and you get that kind of whiplash of insult, that I wasn't included. But these are seasoned, you know, Tilo's a seasoned warrior. She should kind of get that. The other two girlfriends that I have mentioned, kind of, okay, the show shows them to be rather intelligent. It doesn't show them to be stupid or emotionally fragile or undeveloped. But then when this shows up, suddenly it's, well, I'm severely emotionally undeveloped. I take it entirely the wrong way. And it's like, yeah, I can kind of see that if you're an idiot, but they're not idiots. The story proclaims them as not idiots, but then has them act childishly. And then in the case of Invincible, actually proclaims that that the girlfriend's in the right, which she isn't. Not at all. And that's why we don't like her. Amber. That's her name. Amber. So yeah. I was rooting for her and Mark, but then now it's like, no, just no. And Megan, because she is in a Disney flick, yeah, there's no progression other than, I kind of like you. I kind of like you too. Now let's do nothing about that for the rest of the series. So, and third and final most, which is why everyone's talking about it now, my adventures with Superman. Glory be, because that's just what we need. So Lois finally figures this out early on by episode 6, or whatever, and she kind of tests this out. And by the way, the best version of this, of Lois outing Superman, is in the Richard Donner cut. Yeah, as a child, I always felt that the cut that was left in the film for all this time was rather lacking. It's like I kind of thought that's kind of dumb that Lois will try to do that, and then Clark trips over a polar bear rug head and lands in the fire, and it's like the clumsiness is an act. It's not he makes himself clumsy. It's all a controlled act. But he outs himself by accident. Believe me, I just shoved my hand into a fire. Oops, I guess I'm Superman. And in the Donner cut, it's Lois pulls out a gun and says, well, if you are Superman, then you have no problem with this gun. And points at it was Lois, put down the gun. I know you're trying to, and she shoots him. It's like, well, takes off the glasses, stands up straighter and says, well, but you do realize, Lois, that, and of course he changes his tone of voice. Lois, if you were wrong, you would have just shot Clark. And she says, with blanks, he's like, shit. And I love that. So anyway, in this, Lois kind of realizes, I'm not seeing Clark and Superman in the same place. Could it be? And they kind of look alike. Like they're identical twins. Mysteriously. Maybe Clark might be Superman. Maybe. Well, let me jump off this tall building. And he catches her, and it's like, oh wait, he is Superman. And again, taking it the wrong way of, why didn't you trust me with this epic? It's a secret identity. Again, it's like they've never heard of the concept. And that's kind of stupid. Because it's like everyone's heard of this trope. Even in the world without zombies, people learned very quickly how to handle the zombies. Criminy. So Lois Lane kind of does the same thing, where she feels insulted that she wasn't included. So Jimmy doesn't even know at this point either. So it's like, it's kind of feels like we need the needless drama. We need the drama, so let's drum this up. And it's like, no, because your characters are going kind of well. I mean, Lois looks and acts an awful lot like a grown up, young 20-year-old sorry, Luce from Owl House. You watch those two characters side by side, and I swear to God, they act exactly the same way. Come on. I wouldn't be surprised if they're voiced by the same voice actress. But anyway, because your characters go on, have smarts and intelligence and maturity, and then it suddenly all implodes because they weren't in on a secret that is supposed to stay secret. You know? Tila, I can kind of understand because she's been around him, well, the gang, like everyone around her knew the secret but her. And for such a long, long time, however many years this series is supposed to take place during. So I can kind of understand it being a bit miffed. But again, it's a secret. You don't tell everybody. So, all that being said, Lois is like, oh, whatever was between us is over now. Oh, and leaves. I'm like, yeah, sure, give it another couple more episodes. Yeah, let her fall out of a couple more windows or off a bridge or something. She'll change her mind real quick about that. Trust me. So yeah, if you're gonna write a character, strong, independent gal that isn't woke and learns, the secret identity of your lead, have them take it with the damn maturity of an actual adult and not the maturity of a 10-year-old throwing a tantrum, or, sorry, hissy fit. Because they end up coming off as tsundere-ish, and that's not very attractive to your audience. Again, Tila looking like the exception. You can kind of see that. Like, okay, I can kind of understand that because it went on for so long, and everybody else kind of knew that. Even the mom apparently figured it out. It's like, yes, be embarrassed that you're the last to know or figure it out. Okay, but honestly, no need to storm out in a tiff. Like, really, and say, I quit. I'm going to be an independent bounty hunter with a female sidekick. Again, I don't know what the hell they're going with that. It's just whatever. It's just give them the mental maturity. Yes, have them have an emotional reaction to that, however way it's created. But have them realize, like, but damn it, it's a secret identity. You had to keep it secret. Don't have them just accept it right off. Have them understand the concept right off, but begrudgingly kind of have to get over their emotions in a reasonable amount of time. And right. It's for the best. You can't tell everybody this thing. You gotta protect yourself and those you love against those you are crime fighting against, So anyway, yeah, those are my thoughts on this last, I'm hoping, dying paradigm of wokeness and female toxicity, because it was just a baller 5 years of this shit. And quite frankly, it's time for it to go. We need logical characters. We need less corporate mandate. That's what we need. We need to get back to good storytelling. The MCU is not something I want to spend my money on. Because if I saw She-Hulk on the DVD shelf, would I buy it? Fuck no. And that should tell you something. So anyway, since those are my thoughts, just letting you know there's been good writing and bad writing. And bad writing will always piss off your fan base. And really, it's like the oldest trope there is. The the revelation for the female lead or love interest. And it's like, really, really, we're gonna do that old, song and dance on her part. It's okay to be different. It's okay to have her, not throw a tiff. Get upset a little bit, but understand. It's like, right, secret identity. You'll tell me when it's damn when the story's damn good and ready, not because you want it now. You know. Anyway, like the movie series, why did they oust themselves at the end? Well, it's because Hawkmoth was defeated. There was no reason to keep up the secret identities. That's why the secret identities kept going on in the TV series, was because Hawkmoth was still there. And if no other supervillains had shown up, I'm pretty sure within the year or whatever of dating, that Marinette and Adrian would have outed each other, saying, "Yeah, it was me the whole time." But since we're going to get a new villain, which I believe is supposed to be Lila, the love square is still going to continue for another 3 seasons. They said. Oy vey. So, yeah. Personally, I would like to see them be kind of have the big reveal between each other come next season, and spend the next couple of seasons of them just dealing with that. That would be awesome to see them just dealing with that on an episode by episode basis. That they are the superheroes and they do love each other, and they kind of have to just deal with that as a couple. That'd be awesome. There's some new dynamics for you. So yeah. Yeah, so that's about it. I gotta go. I'm tired. Take care, and again, see y'all at the movies. Bye.